Despite the current state of Nigeria's economy, many citizens continue to express hope and expectations about what the presidency of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has to offer. Many Nigerians are filled with renewed hope towards a better country where dividends of democracy will be experienced optimally. However, as different geopolitical zones continue to make demands and appeal for positions of leadership in the new government of the All Progressives Congress, led by Tinubu, the Southeast voice seems not to be loud enough, even with the strong message of Senator Orji Uzor Kalu insisting the zone should be given the position of Senate President. Joining us now to discuss the Southeast expectations from Tinubu's presidency, policy issues, national security, recommendations on oil subsidy removal, power and electricity that is extremely essential, is George Agbakahi, member, APC Presidential Campaign Council, Media and Publicity Directorate, and Southeast leader, Tinubu Support Organization. Good morning, sir, and great to see you here, Mr. Agbakahi. So, good.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, let's start by having your thoughts on the first few days, 72 hours of the president. On this very program during the course of this week, we had Elisa Agbakuba. He said that he's expecting that by close of work, 6 p.m., he said, on Tuesday, the president who has prepared all his life to become the president of Nigeria and has spent a lot of months to have time to choose his cabinet should have some announcements that will show us the direction of his government. That has not happened. What's your thought about the last 72 hours of our new president?
Well, thank you very much again for having me. I think the past 72 hours has been pretty phenomenal. The inauguration of our great president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was a very great one. You know, it was pretty well attended by all Nigerians, irrespective of their political, religious, and ethnic leaning. You know, the venue was pretty full, and it was a thing of joy for all Nigerians. But however, in respect of policy or appointments, I think he is going in the right direction. We are all aware that some few appointments have been made. You know, was it not yesterday or a couple of days ago, the chief of staff, you know, has been appointed, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Gbajabiamila. Now, you know very well that it is the chief of staff that will now coordinate, you know, activities of government. So I believe with Agbakahi that in the next couple of days, probably by next week, you will see series of appointments coming up.
Okay.
You know, and I sincerely believe that based on the magnanimous, you know, disposition of our great president, I believe all the geopolitical zones in the country will be remembered, you know, in the appointments. You know, so in the area of policy, yes?
Go ahead, Mr. Agbakahi.
In the area of policy, the president made a very endearing speech on the inauguration day. In fact, to me, the speech the president made is pretty reminiscent to the speech of one-time American President John F. Kennedy during his inaugural speech. In his own speech then, you remember John F. Kennedy was asking Americans, think of what you can do for your country and not what your country can do for you. In our own case here, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was able to encapsulate in his speech all aspects of our national life, all the challenges facing this great country, from national security to electricity, power and electricity, you know, all the way to the economy. You know, he touched every area, all the way to oil subsidy, which is very critical for the development of this great country.
Okay. Mr. Agbakahi, real quickly, just to fact check you, sir, there is no official confirmed announcement that Mr. Agbakahi has been announced as the Chief of Staff. If you have a document, you can do well to show me as we speak today. As at this minute, there is no official document of the announcement. So if there's no document, there's no paper on ground, we can't go further. That's number one. Number two, and that's why I asked if you have a document stating, a government document stating that Agbakahi has been announced as Chief of Staff, you can show me for public elucidation. But as we speak today, as I know of, this minute, there is none on ground. Secondly, I want to talk to you as regards that same speech that you said was like a JFK speech. That same speech has caused a lot of problems on ground. Subsidy is gone. We have seen the ripple effect. A lot of people said, yes, we all believe in subsidy removal, but it will have been a phased removal, or you'll have given people ample time, or tell them the palliatives to go. So that speech has caused the first problem that we're reeling from. Now, motor prices are high, price of petrol is high, and the economy is in a shock this morning, because if you go on the streets of a commercial city like Lagos, most people are not even coming out because of the price. So what would you say as regards the same speech you call Kennedy-esque speech and the effects as we speak?
Well, in respect to the subsidy removal speech, which you just talked about, to me, I believe was the best part of his speech. Listen, let me tell you, Rufai. Mind you that the subsidy regime, petroleum subsidy regime, ended last year, I believe sometime in February. You know, but it took a president that has the boldness, the resoluteness to really take the bull by the horn to make that announcement. The people that are suffering in respect of the fuel subsidy are the regular folks. They are the masses. The people that are benefiting are the pretty wealthy individuals, just a clique in the petroleum industry. Those are the people that are benefiting. And now you find out that the fuel subsidy removal, you know, truly will free up resources for the other sectors of the economy in road construction or other infrastructural projects, education, health, you know, and many other areas. Nigeria spends, according to news report, Nigeria spends about $10 million annually on petroleum subsidy. And if you look at it based on news report, in this just 2023 appropriation, the supplementary budget, 2.557 trillion naira proposed budget was budgeted for petroleum subsidy. Come on, man. Listen, he took the right decision. And we know that there will be inflation in the short run. Definitely there will be inflation. The prices of commodities will go up. In fact, my own secretary in my office came to work this morning and told me that, Oga, I had to pay, instead of 200 naira to work today, I paid about 400 naira. The point now is this. It is left for the federal government to look for ways in order to cushion the effects, you know, of this, you know, subsidy removal, and which they are already working on. You are pretty well aware they had a meeting with Nigerian Labour Congress and other consumer groups in the villa. Was it yesterday or 2 years ago? You know, trying to find out ways to ameliorate, you know, the sufferings that the masses and the working people of this country will engage in.
Thank you, Mr. Agbakahi. Now let's talk about expectations from the Southeast. First question is, do you feel cheated as being from the Southeast that the president didn't support a Southeast candidate in terms of zoning the Senate presidency? I mean, we have senators like Senator Orji Uzor Kalu, we have some, he's come out from the Southeast. Do you think that perhaps the president, in the interest of fairness, should have backed the Southeasterner? The second question would be in terms of security. He had a security briefing with some security chiefs, the Chief of Defense Staff. In your opinion, with regards to the Southeast, what should be done about Nnamdi Kanu? That's a big question from the Southeast. The sit-at-home order in the Southeast, what should the president's response be? And then finally, with regards to the Southeast, industrialization of the Southeast. He spoke about this a lot of times during his campaign. He said he was going to turn the Southeast to an industrial hub. It's action time. What are your expectations?
Please, can you repeat the very first question?
So the first one is...
It's like a compound question, please.
Yes, it's just on the Southeast. The first one is with regards to the Senate presidency being zoned to the South-South. Do you feel cheated from being from the Southeast that he ought to have backed a Southeastern candidate? Then the second is on security, and the third is on industrialization.
Well, in respect of the first variable you talked about, which is the issue of the Senate president, I sincerely believe that our president is a father figure who is very compassionate and commands the respect and trust of majority of Nigerians. And I also believe that the issue of Senate presidency, it has been discussed in the party level. But at this point, I believe there has been some ambivalence in respect of that policy from the party based on news report. In Nigeria, after the North, after the West, the Southeast, the Igbo group, is the third largest ethnic group in this country. So I believe that the Southeast should be considered, profoundly in one of the positions of the National Assembly. That is the right thing to do. I know fully well that the party is supreme. When the party makes decision, it is binding on all of us, as loyal members of the party. But like I said, there has been some ambivalence in that decision based on news report. So there are pretty much, very competent people from the Southeast who can handle the position of Senate presidency. I know that Osita Sinazo is a pretty good candidate who also commands the trust and respect of his colleagues and also of the political leadership of this great country. So, well, we'll just let this drill, and I think in the next 1 week, the Senate will now choose their leaders. It's left for the Senate to make a right choice, as well as the House of Representatives. But I believe that the Igbo stock, should be recognized. And one of those top positions in the National Assembly should go to Igbo, being the fact that the president of this great country is from the West, the vice president is from the Northeast, which is Yoruba and Hausa. Igbo is the next in terms of either population or size. And I believe sincerely that one of those positions, probably Senate president, should come to the Igbo-speaking area of this great country. Now, in respect of the Southeast security, insecurity in the Southeast has been one of our major concerns. The issue of IPOB, the issue of unknown gunmen that has ravaged the entire Southeast, the issue of, holidays on every Monday for the past over 1 to 2 years now. There has been holiday every Monday, which has affected commerce tremendously. So we now look at the president, Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to look at ways of resolving these pending insecurity issues in the Southeast. I remember vividly when he was in Ebonyi State. I was privileged to be in that campaign rally. The president talked about the issue of Nnamdi Kanu and talked that he will reach out to the Igbo leaders, even if it involves dialogue, in a way to fashion out the best way to resolve this problem. You know, I believe at some point, I think it is very, very important that Nnamdi Kanu, you know, should be released, but under some conditions. This is what the president needs to do with the military apparatus, and call him through dialogue together with some other Igbo leaders and look for a way to ameliorate the security situation, because the people that are suffering mainly are the masses, are the people living in the Southeast. People live in the Southeast with fear. Most of us hardly go home because of the nature of insecurity in the Southeast. People go, if you go to the market on a Monday, you may be killed by unknown gunmen. It is pretty bad, even though the insecurity situation is not only compounded in the Southeast. We also have it in the Northeast. We also have it in the Niger Delta, especially the issue of militancy, you know, and the militancy and the issue of pipeline degradation, oil theft. These are issues that also affect the overall economy of this great country. So the president has a lot of work to do. In his meeting with the military chiefs yesterday, he talked about coordination. You know, personally, coordination is very important. I also believe the issue of intelligence sharing and intelligence gathering is critical for us to solve the security situation in this country. There has to be a synergy, you know, among the entire military apparatus, be you in the army, in the navy, in the air force, and in the police. You know, they shouldn't be fighting among themselves. You are aware of what happened in Taraba State, you know, during the case of the arrest of Wadume, whereby the military killed 1 or 2 policemen. This is not what we want. And the president yesterday talked about it, that he would not condone, you know, issues of that nature. There has to be cooperation in all arms. Mr. Agbakahi, you know, military.
Thank you so much, Mr. Agbakahi. Thank you very much. We've been speaking with Mr. Agbakahi, the Tinubu support group leader in the Southeast.